It's just excuses. That's all you actually have. You all have all sorts of potential to do some really incredible things. And yet, you sit back and you think, I can't do this. I've got this thing or that thing. I'm too old. I have a small baby. I am too young. I don't have the looks. I don't have the education. I am not smart enough. I don't have the right upbringing. I don't come from the right location. I have the wrong network. I am not connected. I don't have the right clothes. All of these things, every time you say that, it's just you're afraid of somebody else. You're afraid of not only what other people are going to say, you're afraid of that little person in your brain that's going to make you stumble and make you think that you're not good enough somehow. And ultimately, it all comes down to excuses. Before I was going to do this video, I had that little pain in my stomach that was like, this is stupid. What am I doing here? I turned it on and I started. I still have that feeling right now, but I'm doing it. So the question becomes, how do you actually do this? What is it? It's a realization you're always going to have those fears. No matter what, you're always going to feel silly and stupid. But you get up and you do it anyways, regardless of what's going on. And frankly, no matter how many times you do it, I've done this 3,000, probably getting close to 4,000 times now. And it never gets easier. It's the same feeling every time. And I feel stupid. And yet, I get up and I do it. And, I have all sorts of fears. I think that what are other people that I know going to say? What are people that are strangers? They're not nice. Some people are really not nice in this world. I have all of these fears. What about my career? What about my family? I have all of these things, and yet I get up and I do it. And I don't know why I actually do it, but I do. So I want you to think about that. All the things in your life that prevent you from doing something, and all of these excuses that you have, and I guarantee that you have all sorts of excuses. And I want you to question them. What is driving that? Ultimately, you're afraid. Ultimately, you think that you're stupid, you're silly, you have all of these kind of limitations. And yet, you're going to let life pass by. You have all sorts of potential. I think everybody has the same amount of potential. They just don't see it. They don't feel it. They don't have that desire to do cool things. And I think about all of the people that don't have it as good as me. And I think, man, those things that they're worried about, whether they have a lisp, whether they look funny, whether they are taller or shorter or whatever, and they get up and they do it. They often claim those things as their claim to fame. And all of those things that you think are weaknesses, all of those things, they're really not weaknesses. They're just traits that you actually have. And you think of them. Somebody has put that little bug in your ear. Whether it was your family, whether it was people that you grew up with. And frankly, they're just people that you grew up with. Like seriously, they're not your friends. They're people that you grew up with. All of that stuff. They put bugs in your ears, and then you sit there and you think, I can't do this. All of that stuff is excuses from somebody else. And other people are making you feel bad. Other ghosts from the past are making you feel bad and making you feel silly. Instead of just getting up and enjoying your life and doing things that you always wanted to do. I am building a software platform right now. I'm a professor in a business school. I worry all the time about what do I say? What if I say something and I lose my job? All of the time. I worry about this platform that I'm building that looks stupid and people are like, that's dumb. I can't afford it. I can't afford any of this kind of stuff. It was really expensive to do this. And yet I try to figure out a way. And do I think I perhaps underpay that I should? Absolutely. All of these things that would limit people from thinking about why they don't start and why they actually don't do anything. You have all of these ideas in your head that all of this bad stuff is going to happen, and ultimately it never does. Ultimately, once you start, you realize that all of those fears, all of those problems are not as big as you thought they were, and yet you don't start, you don't do it. You think, right now, I had an itchy nose, a little bit of a runny nose, and I think, God, what is everybody going to say if I have a runny nose on public, on something that's public? What is everybody going to say? They're going to make fun of me, and they're going to say, oh, he has a runny nose, and then they're going to call me Mr. Runny Nose. Like, seriously, you're going to let that from stopping you from doing amazing things in this world? You're going to let the fact that you don't have the right tools, you don't have the right looks, all of those things from stopping you from doing something? I don't know about you, but that sounds silly to me. Y'all have potential. Y'all can do amazing things, but you're just too afraid to do it. You're afraid of what other people are going to say and do. And you have unlimited amount of time. I'm going to tell you that. That time runs out, and it runs out real quick, but you still have an unlimited amount of time. Figure out how to do these things without making it feel like it's taking away your time. I'm going for a walk that I would go on anyways. I'd probably turn on the video and do it. All of these things, right? Like if you're doing something and you're afraid of it, just figure out a way to make it feel like you, make it feel like something that's fun, that's something that you want to do, that you're gonna do anyways. All the rest of it, it's just excuses holding you back, preventing you from living your life. That's it. That's all I want to say. Stop using excuses. Live your wonderful life.